Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have 21 of the top 32 deck lists from YCS Vancouver last weekend, and let's go ahead and hop right in. So this is the first place deck list by Jesse Cotton. For some of the non-engine, we have Nib, Eclipse, Thrust, Talons, Harpies. So main deck Harpies, we didn't see that too much prior, but it's not like that crazy of a thing to do with Thrust and Prosperity in your main deck. We can see the only hand trap though is Nib. If we see, more and more people play less and less hand traps, then, maybe stuff like combo becomes better. Just like setting up maybe a reframing plus skip turn, but the deck also sucks going second. And then other things, they're playing Wailing in the deck. Let's see, a lot of the engines fairly standard, okay. Playing the Dark Contract stuff. I mean, it's just more Unchained stuff going first. Consistency too. Going second, it's good. You can see no Magma and just Druis Worm. It's because, if you summon Magma and you get the Search Druis Worm, then, your opponent can interrupt the Bestial with, the DDD, or by chaining Chamber to summon. So you just, want the Druis Worm sticked on field, so that way you can, get rid of it and then, out the stuff on their field. So you're going to see a lot of people starting to cut Magnum and playing Druis Worm instead. And then we got 3 of the Marionette Might. This is just discard, go steal. This card's cool. Plays around anti-spell. Is definitely going to become a little bit worse though if people actually start playing around this stuff. If you're playing at YCS Cancun this weekend and you're playing Unchained, if possible, maybe try to get a Shavara to your hand. So that way if your opponent tries to steal your DDD or something, or Marionette steal the DDD, you just chain, boop, pop, get it off field, nice. Side deck's the Ash Blossom, okay, D-Barrier, Karma Cannon, and then, so only one D-Barrier, but it also works well with Prosperity and Thrust, so if you hand trap them, they're gonna D-Barrier you. Okay, on to the second place list. This is actually my buddy, Cody Manabe, aka my media manager. Well, okay, hopping right in. So we got Fenrir in the main deck. Solid going first, Solid going second because your deck's good at breaking boards. And then just bunch of standard engine. No point of going over a lot of that. Talons. Also playing Wailing in the list. This card, it's interesting. It's interesting. Being able to, not just set a trap off Shavara, but something that you can actually, use right then and there is nice. It's also another name. Another Unchained spell trap name. So if you open Chamber plus Escape, then you still have Wailing that you can use. Because technically Abomination's Prison is something that you can use, but you're not going to be able to get to this, with your engine or anything. And then playing 5 books and Thrust. So playing more books in the main deck. And then Nib, Ash in the side, not main decking Nib. I think main deck Nib at this tournament would have been really good. I feel like a lot of people would have played Unchained just because it did well at the YCS the weekend before down in Brazil. So people would have played this deck and they don't know how to play around Nib. So I feel like Nib would have actually gone in. Nib also conflicts with Fenrir a little bit too. An anti-spell on the side deck going first, bunch of those. 2 of the DDD, playing Arise to go with the Thrust Talons. Well, I guess it's not just for that, obviously. That's one big thing, but it's also because if your opponent activates Shang, then you can summon Fenrir, make a Rise, and then Zeus, which is also really good. And also works well with the Change of Heart too, and Prosperity to get to those cards. And then extra deck just plays 2 Yama. There's a lot less cash than what people had originally expected. A lot less cash. It's because Unchained beats cash. Unchained beats that deck pretty nice. You can see the Thrust, Eclipse, Book of Moon, Talons, Prosperity in the main deck. They're ripping through the board fairly easy. And then on top of that, their engine cooks through the end board. The deck can set up Griffin turn 1 into your XYZ deck. Nice. But okay, that's going to be it for that list. Gonna be a few Unchained lists in this. Yeah, 3rd place Unchained. Oh no, it didn't save. Okay, well the last card in the side deck was Harpy's Feather Duster. I don't know why I didn't save. But, okay. Looking at the deck. We see 2 Talons, 2 Thrust. Okay, this person didn't like the 3 Thrust, 1 Talons. And then playing Max Books in the main deck with the 6 trap cards. Okay, it's not really that much different than other lists, you know what I mean? It's a little bit weird. Then side deck, again, the one card that's missing is Harpy's Feather Duster. Decides to not play Nib anywhere in the list. like no hand traps at all. So I'm saying like maybe, just maybe, some of these combo decks can pop out because there's just like the lack of hand traps in other decks. Like in the best deck right now, I mean first, second, third place at the YCS, right? Like it's just the best deck. There's no arguing it anymore. You can't say Cash is the best deck until a ban list is out. You can't say people are bored of playing Cash. This is a YCS, bro. People are not going to care if they're bored of playing Cash. They're still going to play it if they want to win, right? Like, that's just how it is. And it's kind of crazy, just the lack of hand traps. We're going to see stuff pop off. We're going to see stuff at YCS Cancun this weekend. It wouldn't surprise me if we see some random combo decks top. Now, are they going to go super deep in the top cut? Maybe not, but we're definitely going to see some top. Like, there's just no Duel, no Shifter. Like, come on now. What's stopping me from sleeving up Dark World right now? Like, come on now. Then we got 4th place. This is Chris LeBlanc's build of Pearly. Going over this, we see Nib in the main deck. Yeah, I would have also done that. The 2 Street, doing the same thing that Kamal did. We see, I don't know why it was like 3 Eclipse in the book. Okay, then Cross Out in the main deck. Imperm, Yeep. I mean, there's not like too much to say about the main deck. I mean, playing 41, only playing 2 of the field spells, so Pearly's not going to hit as often. Playing Max Eclipse. Cross Out. Side deck Druisworm, exactly like the No Magma. We're going to see people do this just because they need to be able to out stuff, and this like guarantee is going to out something. Unless they like unicorn it back, and then 2 Droll. Playing Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. 4 maybe Branded, maybe Dragons. I'm not sure exactly what this would be for. Definitely Branded. You can side this in against Kashtira. There's a few things you can side it in against, but I don't know what it's specifically there for. And then just the standard extra deck. Playing the other Link 2 is kind of fake because people can't play Contact C right now, because if they do, they're going to run into like the 40% chance that the Pearly player's playing like IP in their extra deck or something, and then they're going to look really dumb. And then they're going to cut it from their side deck because they realize it's not good against every Pearly player. And then, then there's no need to play that card anymore because it's only there for Contact C. Where like having the second Zeus, it comes up a decent amount. But now on to some of the top 8 lists. We have Infernoble. Looking over this, obviously playing the Magius. This is mandatory, absolutely mandatory. Every list will play that from now on. 2 Oliver, 40 cards by the way, 6 books, 3 Imperms. Wow, okay, let's go. We fit 9 going second cards in our Infernoble deck. And also something I like about this too is it's not like Ash Blossom, right? So it's not like a super low impact hand trap into a lot of the matchups. We have 9 outs to the DDD Wave High King Caesar. We have 9 outs to a Rise Heart. Also, these are all top deckable outs, which changes it completely changes the math on it, because like if you remember like my branded list, or like not my branded list, but the branded list from Vegas, YCS Vegas back in like February, there wasn't as many like hand traps as you would want, but since they're going second cards like this, you can draw them as your 6th card and they completely work. So it's fine. Like, it's nice. I'm actually happy to see Infernoble with like a good amount of going second cards. And they're all 6 cards too. I like it. Okay, nice. And then Ash and Crow on the side. Thrust, D-Barrier. And I guess just like standard extra deck things. Nothing that crazy. I mean, this card's crazy. This card's crazy, but it's standard. Okay, on to the next list. Another top 8. We got Kashtira. Only playing 2 Rise Heart. You are a brave person to only be playing 2 of that. That's all I gotta say. Very brave. Because bricking in this deck is just, it happens so often. There's no way you're catching me with 2 of this on my deck list. Okay, we see Blizzard in the side deck for more outs to like Talents and stuff. We see Lance in the main deck, Judgment, lots of outs to like lane, or lots of outs to Talents and stuff. We see the F-Zero package in the extra deck. Also Dweller. I mean, you can make that with like double Kashtira Rise Heart. Even if you are XYZ locked, obviously Dweller's an XYZ. Unchained's the best deck. You can Dweller them. Nice. I'm going to be surprised if we don't see, like, there's going to be more cash lists in this. I'm going to be surprised if they aren't playing Dweller. And then we got the BLS link. That's a little bit wild. Haven't seen that since like pre-Cash Cheaper release. Or actually, no, I remember seeing it in an adventure build, I think, that topped. Now onto another Unchained list in top 8. We got the 1 Talents, 3 Thrust, 3 Clips, 3 Imperms, 6 Traps, Nib, Ashen Side, Anti-Spell. Yeah, there's like nothing to say about this list. Oh, I should have looked at the other list if they were playing Underworld Goddess or not. But I feel like a lot of people are playing this card now. Like, a lot of people in Unchained are playing this card. To the point to where it's like standard. But it's going to be interesting because if this card becomes to the point where it's like, okay, this is standard, they're going to have it in their extra deck, let me use my new war to spin back these blank bodies. You know, maybe that's what happens, and then you don't play Underworld Goddess, so now you added new war just by putting bodies on field. But also, new war against this deck is, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, because you're going to go, like, set, Aruha pop, nope, new war spin, normal summon. Yeah, you just lose. New War cooks this deck if it actually gets to go through. But Talents and Thrust do help with that because it won't have that many materials. So then you can try to take it afterwards and then play after, or you can Eclipse afterwards. Or if you like set a card, a Ruha Pop, and they New War and they don't have Field Spell, you can Impermanent afterwards. And then we have a top 16 Dragon Link list, playing 2 Sornier in the main deck, no Baldrake. Plays Caliber, Ash Blossom, Talons, Called By in the main deck, Imperm Book. Wait, how is this at this many cards? What is the difference? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 going second cards. I guess it's just the 13 going second cards and then the 2 Sornier on top of it. Okay, side deck, Nib, Droll, Thrust, Karma Cannon. Yes, like 1 Thrust, 1 Karma Cannon, a little bit weird, but I guess that is sort of, like a second and third Called By against Cash's Shifter. Not saying even a 3 of is going to be seen in our 48 card deck, but maybe that's what they thought about. And also Thrust is good going second into a lot of matchups, so you can like Thrust on the Talons, or like Chaos Space and stuff. Extra deck plays Azalea, IP. Wait, and Scarlight. Doesn't play Appaloosa. Doesn't play Nightmare Unicorn. Plays Azalea over the Unicorn. Now that is different. But I kind of want to play Azalea in my Dragon deck. I've been playing Dragons a little bit recently. I feel like I should play Azalea, and I'm not going to lie. I've felt like that a few times. And maybe just, like, seeing it now, it's like, yeah, I should just play it. Okay, I gotta make space for it. But there's definitely space, because you, like, don't have to play Scarlight. You know, this is for time. If you wanted to, you could also put it in your side deck. I don't know, but your side deck probably doesn't have that much space either when you're at 48. Just because you have to, like, have more going to second cards. So then your side deck has to have more going to second cards. And you can see we don't even have, like... We don't really have that much going first in here either. But on to the next top 16 list, we have Rescue Ace. So 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3. Okay, doesn't play Fire Attacker in the list, but does play Impulse Fire Engine. I mean, it's fair. Almost every time you're going Impulse in the Fire Engine, because this card gets you to Airlifter, which gets you a Search, which is like really good. 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Imperm, 3 Book, 2 Talents. Okay, 14 with Prosperity, but doesn't play any of the extra consistency. Just wrote a 1-for-1 Prosperity Airlifter. I bet you they had some bricks this weekend, or just not great hands. I mean, it's gonna happen. But, yeah, it's fair. They're not playing Headquarters in the deck, really cutting down on the extra engine stuff to be able to play more of the non-engine. And then also, you know, it's not just like Imperm, Talons, Book, Nib, and Ash are the only hand traps, because that's the beauty of a deck like this. It's like Impulse, I would say just Impulse is not a hand trap. It's an engine starter on the opponent's turn. I wouldn't say it's like a actual hand trapping you and stopping you. It's more of like a Phantasme, where it's like, okay, boom, try to get my engine going. But now if you have like Impulse plus like Fire Engine in hand or something, you know, or like different combinations of cards, or you open like Fire Engine, Preventer, Airlifter, like those 3 combinations of cards, that's going to give you a Book of Moon on your opponent's turn. you know, so it really depends what they start with. If they start with like Unicorn and they're playing Cash, you know, that's a hand trap. In some matchups, you may not want to spend 3 cards to hand trap the opponent, but if it's Cash, I'm Book-a-Mooning for 3 cards on your turn. Let me tell you what, I'm stopping you right then and there. 3 Magma, 2 Druid Worm, Econ, XYZ Encore, Talent, Storm, Harpies. Extra deck playing multiple rank 4s. They also play the puzzle. Okay. I like this. Playing the puzzle, not playing any of the, you know, Therion stuff, Iblis stuff. Just straight up, I'm going to make Dweller on you if this card's good in the matchup. Also, you don't have to puzzle to make these. Sometimes you could just happen to have double Airlifter. It's not going to happen too often, but it could definitely happen. Okay, also Bomber. You can trigger this a bunch in the deck if you want to. Onto the next list, another top 16, we have Adventure Cash. Okay, playing Tier Cash in the main deck. Griffin, any Legal Knight. Lava Golems. Only 2 Theosis, 2 Birth. 2 Right. Okay, a Prosperity. I was about to say, there better be Prosperity. Book, Econ, Harpies. Okay, so all of their going second cards they can draw as a 6 card also. I mean, it's all the right cards. Lava Golem, Book, Econ. This is weird. I'm not going to lie. I don't like this that much. It just doesn't feel good. It's not horrible. There is a lot of thrust and talents right now, so this stuff's going to help you beat it. You could also just play regular Cash with Crossout, but I don't know. This is interesting. The Cash engine also isn't going to start as much. You know, way different than how it was at the beginning of the year with 3 Unicorn. But even back then, I mean, we saw people play 2 Theosis, 2 Birth. Well, a lot of people were trying 2 Theosis, 3 Birth, just because Birth is really good when it starts rolling and you want to top deck it later on and stuff too. But Theosis is like, and even if you draw Birth, you can search another Birth, and that's good. You know, assuming you've probably gone through Theosis at that point. Also, main decking the Big Bang. I guess with the Griffin protection and stuff, it's better. I have seen some people cut that. Extra deck. Okay, nothing crazy in there. Well, I guess they play the 2 Charmers, yeah, but the Awesome makes more sense because they're playing right. The Win is because Griffin or Unicorn, and maybe they're just trying to take Baron or other people's Unicorns. D-Barrier in the side with a Thrust. More top 16. We have Labyrinth with the Unchained stuff in it. So that means they're going to be playing, you know, a lot of the furniture because they want the extra bodies from Kuklok and stuff. The Ariane, the Ariane. We got Nib, Tackle Crusader. Gosh, this card. I have a love-hate relationship for this card because I have a buddy. His name's Anthony. And he loves this card. Loves this card in this deck. And I remember, because I was testing this deck for YCS Philly, we had Ishizu's in the deck, we had Tackle Crusader, what else was there? Oh, the 5 Rainbow Magician, and just try to get a bunch of value off your Labyrinth furniture discards, because that's what OCG did a bunch, was they wanted to get value off of those discards. Also, a little bit different over there, because they have Max C that can draw into some of these value stuff too. So, you know, a little bit different, but also, I don't like it. I think it's actually just better going first, because going first, you know, you can get the furniture into rotation very easy. You'll have Ariana to search, you'll have Extravagance draw, you have your traps to search, you know, bring out Ariana search furniture, discard Tackle Crusader. I actually think this card's a lot better going first than it is going second, but I forget what the percentages, because I mean it's only like 6 furniture, right? It's like 56% or something like that, you know, and then you also have to draw this card too. So if you draw both, you know, sure, you can Book-a-Moon the opponent's monster, which is sick. It's broken if you can do that, but a lot of the times this card's just gonna sit and not do a whole bunch. But maybe it works better in this format than when I tried it before, because when I tried it before, you know, if you had a dead card in your hand, your super heavy samurai opponent was ripping 2 and setting up a huge end board with follow-up with 6 cards in hand. And then, yeah, playing the Unchained stuff. The only trap that, like, one of that they play is 1 Karma Cannon. Wow. playing the 3 welcome. Watch, 1 Karma Cannon, okay. No, D-Barrier's not the greatest, you know, Unchained's popping up more and more and stuff. I don't know what you would have as the 1 trap. I guess Karma Cannon is just a decent one of trap against a bunch of things, and they don't want a bunch of traps in their deck. Sure. Then side deck, Jerusalem, Magma, Phantasme. Magma can also grab Phantasme. The Shizu Shufflers, of course, working extremely well with the furniture. Then extra deck, just, you know, a bunch of the same thing over and over again, pretty much because of extravagance, but only plays 1 Muckraker. I'm going to have to go out on a whim and say that they only... I want to say that they only own 1 of this, but they have a bunch of stuff that they don't want to banish. But it's like, this card's really important. Like, this card is definitely important in the extra. So I feel like this would have a, you know, almost deserved 2-of spot. But then they want, you know, a few toolbox options. I don't know. Maybe it's just worth only playing 1 of this. But I know, like, if you weren't playing the Unchained stuff, this would definitely be a 3-of, because it's very important. But, okay, now we have top 32 lists. We got Pearly playing, you know, Astral, Fenrir, Eclipse, Book of Moon, Talons, Crossout, Imperm. Okay, playing 2 of the field spell. So it's kind of like Kamal's list. Yeah, 41 double field spell, Phantasme, Magma, Druid, Lava Golem, Scolding. Wait, what? Okay, Scolding doesn't work in this deck because you... Okay. You're going to end up having other sets. Like, I get it. I think Scolding is better than Judgment in general. Like, I think it's better than Judgment in general. It does everything Judgment does, but more. It's Strike plus Judgment slapped together. Downside of this card, if you have another set card, you can't use it. So, where does that come up where it's a problem? Oh, I don't know. Book of Eclipse, Book of Moon, Crossout, Imperm. You know, what if you set, like, a Pearly spell, like Sleepy Memory, Happy Memory? Especially in, like, the Unchained matchup where you're actually going out of your way sometimes to search Happy Memory as an interruption against them. So that way you can Happy Memory, protect their set cards, so that way they can't destroy it. Like, in response to their Aruha effect. Like, then it just feels bad to have this. I mean, you probably, like, never drew it because it's a random 1-of in your side deck, but, like, it should have just been Judgment. Like, straight up. I get it. I wish it could be Scolding. Again, I wish it could be. I'm a huge fan of this card, but this card's definitely just better in the deck. Definitely just have to play Judgment over it. Yep, standard extra deck. Okay, on to the next top 32 list. We have Dragon Link. We got 3 Nib, 3 Ash, Eclipse, 2 Imperm, and a Talons. We got 2 Sornier once again, playing 45 this time, no Caliber, 3/3 on the normals, playing the trap and the spell. I like it. I don't know, the trap, actually, I don't know. The trap, I think, was a lot better before Unchained became, like, the best deck. Well, you know, before it was, like, heavily played. And it's going to be really, really heavily played too at the next events. It's like Branded Beast isn't the greatest into that matchup. But into like every other matchup, I feel like I want this card. And also, it just lets your combos be better. There's so many times where you could just like freely get to spell plus trap. But then you also play the trap and you can happen to draw it. Phantasme on the side. Definitely have to have at least 1, I feel like, for your Magma search. In case if it comes up. Thrust. Yeah, because we have the Harpy, or the Talents in the main. Harpies on the side. Exercise the Encore. 3 Karma Cannon alongside of the Thrust. Holy, just ready to go first against Shifter. Scarlet in the extra deck. Okay, Unicorn. Yeah, no Azalea. No Appaloosa. On to the next top 32 list. We got Kashchira. 1 Talents, 1 Desires. So playing the 1 Desires with the Prosperity and the 3 Rise Hearts. So you just, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I personally don't like the Desires that much in the deck. But, you know, I'm not going to hate on you if your decision is to add another consistency card in the deck. I'm not going to hate on it. You know, don't brick. Nice. And then Cosmic Book Imperm. Okay, so Ash, Shifter, Cosmic Book, Imperm, 1 Talents, and then, you know, the 17th non-engine spot is just being used as a Desires, which is okay. Cosmic in the main. That probably went... I don't know how it would have done this weekend. Going first, it would have been incredible against all this Unchained. Incredible. Lava Golem in the side. This is popping up more and more in the side deck. Market Watch. Lava Golem's gonna go up. Oh. Nah, but really, it probably will. If everyone keeps playing it in their side deck, you know, we even saw another Cash Tier player playing in the main deck. You know, just naturally, the card's gonna be wanted more. It's gonna be played more. It's gonna go up. Weird. Okay. Judgment, Anti-Spell, Thrust. Nothing cool to start off the Thrust. Only side in it going second, it seems. Ton of going first stuff with the Anti-Spell and the Judgment. I mean, you do have to, like, side out Cosmic in matchups where it's not good. Shifter in matchups where it's not good. So that's, like, easy sides. Playing 1, 2, 3 cards to attach off Prosperity. Baron, Lingeribo. Hey, whoa. Not a lot of people are doing this right now. Chill. I know Ibli's strong, but let my deck be. Let my deck be. You know, keep this in your binder. Nah, but really, nobody plays this card right now. So, like, you know, if you Ibli, it's fairly safe to assume your opponent won't have it. Okay, nothing else weird in the extra deck or anything like that. Now we got top 32 Flounderies. We got 8 birds. They play the 1 Samorg with nothing else. Yep, we've been seeing that more and more just because the chain blocking capabilities of... If you open Robin map, that's like the usual scenario. You know, activate, reveal, banish, summon, fetch, search, Samorg. Extra normal out, Eagle, Eagle 1, Samorg 2. You can't ash me. Nice, cool eye combo. And then... Thrust, doesn't play the Harpies in the main. Only plays 1 Thrust though, so it makes sense. 3 Shifter, 3 Book, 1 Thrust, 3 Evenly, 3 Evenly. 1 Thrust, and its target is Evenly, or like a pot card. 2 Dreaming Town and Unexplored Winds. Okay. It's definitely an interesting list. Plays the 5 Tribute Summons in the main deck too. Yeah, really cut down on like the non-engine. Okay, side deck, 3 Ash, Unexplored Winds, Harpies, Thrust, Eclipse, Harpies, Featherstorm, Cosmic, Extra X, all fake, nothing real. No Ultimate Slayer in the side deck or anything to make the extra deck somewhat real. I don't know. I think Flounderies is another deck that can get a huge boost from everybody playing Unchained. 1, Flounderies is a decent Unchained matchup. 2, they're all cutting Ash, Imperm, you know, the hand traps that actually work against this deck. Nib does work against this deck, but, like, you just don't mess up. I don't know. There's very few game states where Nib will fully cook you, and if you're in game 1 and you're in a game state where you have a choice to win, but without fully playing in the Nib, then just go for that, right? Like, just don't fully play in the Nib and just accept the L to it in spots where you don't need to. Because it can come up. It can come up where, like, you'll use all your little birds, and they'll drop Nib on you, and you'll have no birds to go alongside, like, the Dreaming Town that you searched, and then you just lose. So it's like, don't do that. But I think that this deck does have a boost though. Duel's coming out of the format too. It's like in side decks only now, if it's even in the side deck. Next top 32 list: Pearly, Ash, Nib, Fenrir. Playing Nib plus Fenrir. These can conflict, but you know, oh no, I drew Fenrir, I Nib my opponent. Okay, anyways, discard. 3 Field Spell, and then 2 Eclipse, 3 Prosperity, 1 Talents, triple Imperm, 41 cards. Lava Golem in the side deck, Cross Out in the side deck, D-Barrier. I mean, you know, Cross Out, D-Barrier, pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. But it's actually going to be wild, though, because if we see more and more people cut hand traps, then D-Barrier's not even going to... It's going to be hard for them to see D-Barrier, because everyone's only playing 1 of this in their side. And, like... I don't know. It's going to be hard for your Cross Out to hit D-Barrier. I mean, there's Prosperity to get to it, sure. But honestly, I feel like it's your hand trapping that's getting you D-Barriered a lot, right? Because when you hand trap, you're allowing Thrust to be alive, and you're allowing Prosperity in the Thrust to be alive, which means they're hitting D-Barrier, because there's only 1 D-Barrier in deck, and then you activate your Ash, and now there's 4 D-Barrier in deck, and that also means Prosperity can hit 4 instead of 1. Huh. So I wonder, is it just your hand trapping that's getting you cooked? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. This card, I think it was really good for YCS Vancouver. I think the next YCS, maybe not so good though. Maybe not so good. Oh, also, this is John Wilkins' list. Yeah, I just realized. I see the dumb Geonator in the extra deck. Nah, I'm playing. I told him to play the Sylvan. I think the Sylvan's a lot better in my opinion. Contact C, it's not real. The Sylvan XYZ, he said it doesn't come up for him, but I don't know how. I feel like that card comes up a decent amount for me. Like, I make that card, like, a good amount. Comes up. Definitely comes up. Comes up way more than that spot would. But, okay, on to the next list. We got Dragon Link. This is Ryan Yu's build. 3 Magma, 3 Sornier, the 10 Bestials. Let's keep going. We see the Caliber in the main deck, allowing you to do way better combos. Also allowing your end phase Druid Swarm Search to be a lot better, because then you'll have Tracer that can pop the Summon a Body still, which means Druid Swarm is Ascend, which does come up a lot. Then 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 3 Book of Moons. So just the 9 going second cards in the main deck. Well, no, 10, because there's talents. Yep. Okay, Quick Launch, Chaos Space, and then some of the necessaries. Doesn't play Branded Beast at all on the list. Side deck, Phantasme, Ultimate Slayer with the Evil Twin. This stuff has been incredible. Incredible. I've been playing this in my Flounderies deck, and oh my god. I mean, in that deck, obviously, it's like way better because you have a full extra deck for free. You play the pots, so you can dig to this card for free. And also, because you play the pot cards, this card becomes a lot better because the odds of you seeing this versus this, like, the odds of this seeing this go way up because you have the pots. And then also Thrust, which could grab Ultimate Slayer. It's probably not happening that often, but I guess it's a choice. But yeah, this card's been really good because you can activate it, right? Let's just imaginary end board. Your opponent, they're playing Unchained. They end on Escape, Solar Rage, XYZ. YuGiOh, main phase, activate Ultimate Slayer, send Link, put back Solar Rage. Now they have DDD plus Escape. So the Escape is now, it's not live. They could chain it in response if they want to. But if they chain Escape, they're chaining to pop their Solar Rage, they're popping the Escape, they're going to get their ad back. And still, all they're going to have is DDD at that spot. Well, they might be able to, they could Yama bring back Solar Rage. But then you can use this, you can go boom, bang, and you can out the DDD, and like, boom, outed. It's also different for Flounderies, though, because Flounderies doesn't care about the DDD or Solar Rage. It just kind of cares about the Escape that's set. So it kind of deals with it that way. And Dragon Link, it's different. And Dragon Link, it can't out everything, right? By itself. But I guess, you're kind of asking for Ultimate Slayer to out a whole lot in that spot. You're asking it to literally wipe the whole field of an Unchained deck, which is, it gets its interruptions from a bunch of different places. So, yeah, I guess against Unchained and Dragons, it's not going to fully take him out of commission by itself. But it's going to do a whole lot. And Flounderies, it's even better. So maybe a card for you to pay attention to, maybe pick up, because I know it's probably cheap, right? Probably just got reprinted. I don't even know if it got reprinted or not. Okay, XYZ Encore, Herald the Abyss to go alongside the Thrust, D-Barrier. Also playing a Tum in the extra deck. That could be because they like a Tum, but that could also be because of Ultimate Slayer. I mean, I think a Tum's pretty good in the deck. But it could also be because they want Ultimate Slayer to be able to out the DDD without having to go through the link. Because they don't always have the link on the field. Sometimes they end with DDD plus Chamber set. And you'd probably just want a way to beat the DDD there. But next top 32 list, we got Vanadium, got 2 Fenrir, 2 Rykart, 2 Arrival, 2 Primitive Plant. Yep, the 2/2/2. This package, it's probably just best to play 2/2/2. It kind of sucks because like you have to cut down your non-engine sum, but it really helps your follow-up. Like really, really, really helps the follow-up in the deck. Also, I just realized something. Yeah, they only play Meek, no Torrid, Ash, Fenrir, Talents, Book, Imperm, Called by... Wait, 2, 3... 6, 7, 10, 13. 3, 6, 10, 13. Wow. There's what's got to be missing from this? There's got to be something, right? Arrival, Imagining, Obsession. I don't know. I can't see it, but it almost feels like there's something missing. and I just can't put my finger on it. But I don't know. Maybe there's nothing. The engine looks fine. It doesn't seem the greatest. Like, yeah, there's more going second cards in the deck, but the engine just seems like going second. It's not good. Not the greatest. And then going first, you're taking away from the going first capabilities by putting in these non-engine cards. But I guess, like, some of the cards you're putting in is like Fenrir, Talents, and then the books and Called By, and those all should help going first, except for Talents. Talents won't help going first that much anymore because there's not that many hand traps anymore. You see in the side deck we have Crossout with Droll. That is okay because Crossout can hit a lot of different things. Like, it can hit Talents, Book, Imperm. If it couldn't hit those and it could only hit Droll, it's like, nah, I wouldn't even play it because people just aren't on this card enough to, justify that. But since this can hit everything, it's good. Like, I don't know, Called By, it's a trap if you have to set it. Like, you can still use it on their engine later. Then extra deck, not going for like a turn skip, just classic Crimson Dragon, Dispatter, build huge end board, Baron, Dispatter, Cheng Ying, plus counter trap set, Appaloosa up top. That's the goal, and I mean, that's game most of the time if you get to that. Most of the time. Another top 32 list. We got Unchained. Let's see. We got Talents, Book, Foolish. I don't know. Foolish, it's interesting. It reminds me a lot of Tier, where, like, in that deck you didn't play Foolish because you were going to get to all of your stuff anyways at some point. So Foolish was just not good. It kind of reminds me of this deck. But in this deck you also have Shyama, and if you get stopped, then you can try to like dump Shyama and use that to extend. So I don't know. Maybe Foolish is just not worth it. But they're also not main decking Thrust. They're side decking Thrust. They main deck 3 Fenrir, 2 Talents, 3 Book, 3 Imperm. Okay. Interesting. Not doing what a lot of other people did with the Thrust. But this card is not going to be as good again, because what we've been saying, the less and less hand traps, the less and less value a card like this will get. So, like, going first, like, obviously this is going to be way better. And then we got Nib, side decks Disaster. Oh, it doesn't main deck Disaster. Oh, I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all. I would take Foolish out instantly for that. I know they serve different purposes completely, but holy, like, even if your deck breaks a little bit more or something, or is a little bit less consistent, Disaster gives it like so much power that, like, I don't know. It's a good card. It's a good card. I would main deck it. I was also side decking this card at one point. I would main deck it. We got Change of Heart, Herald the Abyss, Thrust, Eclipse, Harpies, anything weird in the extra deck. 2 of this, 2 Anguish. Plays the Goddess. Okay, nothing that crazy. And also, they weren't playing the Dark Contract stuff. I'm pretty sure I could go back and check. Actually, I will go back and check. I don't think they were playing it. Let me go back. Were they? I don't think they were, right? Yeah, they weren't playing it. And another top 32 list. We got Chimera, branded-ish. 2 Sword Knight, 2 Cornfield, 2 Big Wing, 1 Gazelle, Halber, Spring's Kit, 2 Cartasia, 1 Clem, 3 Fallen of Albez. I don't even know what I'm looking at. But, okay, 1 Chimera Fusion. Okay, so really cutting down on the Chimera and upping the branded stuff, which is, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. The Chimera stuff is becoming worse because of how awkward it can be into Unchained, but also it's becoming better because Unchained isn't playing any hand traps, so it's all resolving. I don't know. It's not bad. You can also opening into Fusion, into Chimera stuff, and Rinbrum is really good versus, really good versus Unchained, because you can just you can try to negate and bounce Yama. They're probably gonna chain block it with Shavaro, but then you can just bounce it like on a new chain link or something by using one of your own cards or something. Yeah. Also, something about Rinbrum that not a lot of people know is that it says, when a fusion synchro XYZ or link effect is activated, it doesn't say on the field. So, make sure you note that. Make sure you note that. Also playing the Marionette might as a way to steal the DDD or just steal Griffin. Those cards are tough for this deck, the DDD and Griffin. So they're playing Eclipse, which outs DDD. Talon's Thrust, which will also out the DDD. So just really putting them on make DDD game 1. Super Poly. Okay, I wonder how this was for them. I don't know how it would be. Wouldn't it be horrible, of course. And they're just playing the 1 king in the extract, nothing else for that package. Yeah, so really treating this as a small package. Very small. Okay. Maybe could cut it down even a little bit more than if they're just treating it as this small of a package. But okay, on to the last top 32 list that I have. We have Unchained with 2 Rakea, the DD stuff, main deck Disaster, Talons, Eclipse, 6 Traps, Thrust, Imperm, side deck Ash, Nib, Change of Heart, D-Barrier, Anti-Spell, the 1 Anguish, plays the Goddess. Okay, yeah, not too much crazy. I mean, Unchained list number like 47 out of the top 32, right? Like, so whatever. I mean, we can only go over so much. This list isn't that crazy. I mean, it's pretty close to what Pack's list looked like. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's some changes, but it's pretty close. Yeah, fairly close. But alright, yep, that's going to be it for top 32 for Vancouver. I was definitely slacking on the replays, but top 4 and the finals will be coming very soon. I will be uploading those. And then I know for Cancun, there is only written coverage, so I'll also be going over written coverage for that. Probably just like top 4 and finals or something. Most people don't really watch the videos when they're just like round 1, round 2, round 3 of written coverage, and they take like an hour and a half to make. So there's just no point of making them if no one's going to watch them. But with all that being said, shout out to Super Paluto for making the spreadsheet that has all the deck lists on it. I'll be linking the spreadsheet down below in the description if you want to check that out. And I think it has some of the statistics too, and it has like a pie chart and stuff on like the YCS. So if you want to check that out, for sure check that out. And the DB Grinders signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe.